Welcome back to those who watched the previous game, and welcome to the newcomers. My name is Bryce West. We are at Fairmont High in Durban, in Cape Town, and it's Fairmont High up against PAARL Boys today. Absolutely fantastic that you guys can join us. At the moment we have the under 14A boys playing against each other, and just before this game we had done a 16Cs who ended in a 2-2 draw. Fantastic end-to-end game, and yeah, we're looking forward to another fantastic game of hockey here. Again, thanks for joining us as we see Fairmont boys in the green playing left to right, and PAARL boys in the dark blue and light blue playing from right to left. PAARL boys with a bit of a patient high press here against Fairmont, and Fairmont playing it into the pocket. It's turned over on the left hand side by PAARL boys, getting an attack. PAARL boys get the first circle entry, but it's well cleared there by Fairmont. And we have a sideline hit for PAARL boys. We've had a bit of rain here in Durbanville today. It rained quite a lot this morning, so the turf is fantastic. Nick has just got a little bit of wet. We'll make sure the ball moves quickly as Fairmont have an attack, but unfortunately can't connect the passes, and it's well turned over by PAARL boys. Coach of the under 14A boys from Fairmont, Jody Erasmus, master coach here at Fairmont boys, also the first team coach, and we have Maria Engelbracht as the under 14A boys coach from PAARL, and we are up here for a fantastic game of hockey. Fairmont swinging the ball across and well left by the keeper, really smart keeping there, and it is a 16. Our two umpires, Fairmont Old Boy, JD Hendricks, and head of hockey at PAARL boys, Rowan McLaughlin. Big ball through by PAARL boys. It's just going to run over the line, unfortunately. That's a Fairmont 16. I've been fortunate enough to have coached at PAARL Boys High School, and I'm currently the coach here at Fairmont High. And it's fantastic to see the two schools play against each other on a yearly basis. In the pre-season, they try to get a game in. They play home and away just to get some practice in before the season starts. So I think it's awesome to have PAARL Boys here at Fairmont and to get this fixture underway again. And we see, well, some good defense there by Fairmont. Looking to launch a counter-attack, good ball down the line. Fantastic pick there by the PAARL Boys defender. Again. One possession back to ball. As PAARL Boys into the circle of Fairmont, was well picked up there by Logan, and Fairmont come out with the ball. We have a lot of fixtures up here today. Up next we have the under 16 boys at 5 o'clock and the 16B boys. And after that we have the under 16A game, which is going to be a fantastic game of hockey later. And then the one we all will be looking forward to, the under 19A first team boys playing at 7 o'clock. We've got a full day of schoolboy hockey here, and thanks for joining. Huge shout out to the Super Sports Schools app for live streaming the game, and to ES Media right here, and Valgatech Sports for as being a sponsor of Fairmont Hockey. Thanks to everyone involved for getting these live streams to everybody at home so they can watch their family and friends play a lovely game of hockey. Bit of a midfield battle here between the two sides. I'm sure as the game goes on that it'll be a little bit more widespread. It's a great angle here that we have in the video tower here at the Green Machine, Fairmont High. It's a nice bird's eye view. I know lots of coaches enjoy this view when they do the video analysis. As you can see, it's nice and easy to pick up structures and where they can improve and where they do well when they give their video feedback. Coach is really loud on the side here, instructing their boys, making sure that they're prepared as we see Fairmont turn the ball over. Unfortunately, it just lost it, and PAARL Boys on the attack. PAARL Boys taking the free hit quickly, but just not on the right spot, and umpire has asked him to bring it back. Fairmont defending in numbers here, not making it easy for PAARL Boys to get into the circle. Some great stick work. PAARL Boys have found their way in and had a shot. It's off target and it's gone just wide of the post. And it's a 16. Very, very good attack there by PAARL Boys. Just a bit of skill and eliminations, and he's got through the two Fairmont players, and he's walked into the top of the D and had a free shot at goal. I'm sure Fairmont would like to tighten up their defensive structure there and not allow that to happen. PAARL Boys still operating with a high press here. High press, high reward, I always say, and they've turned the ball over. Unfortunately, Fairmont have just won the free hit there. He's taken it quickly, and I'm sure Fairmont have a lot of space to work into. They have a few players behind the last line of defense if they can string some passes. As Thomas Day beats the right back from PAARL Boys with three Fairmont boys unmarked in the D. Can he find one of them? He has. Some good defending, but he's got the ball back, and it's hit the Fairmont foot, and well defended there by PAARL Boys, and it's free hit out. It's been a great and entertaining opening 8 minutes. I'm sure we're in for a great game of hockey here. Great speed showing you on the outside of PAARL Boys. Getting it across, can he find a stick? Almost finding a player inside the D there, but just went over into the goal box, but no one has touched it, so it is a 16 to Fairmont. If you've just joined us, we're at Fairmont High School here in Durbanville, Cape Town. It's Fairmont High versus PAARL Boys all day. It's great to have PAARL Boys here playing some competitive hockey again for the boys. I'm sure they've missed playing some games, and we'll give it their all today. Coach Jody Erasmus giving some instructions to his players on the field, what he wants from them, hoping that they can fix a few areas there. Very Glasby on the ball. Giving it straight to PAARL Boys, just outside the D. Circle entry. It's come off a Fairmont foot. And advantage being played. And advantage called short there by umpire Rowan Clapping. And we have our first penalty corner of the game to PAARL Boys. Boys with just the one castle. No one on the slip left there, and they've got the first runner and a backup. Will they go from the top, or will it be a variation? The set the Fairmont's players foot outside the circle. Great defense there, breaking down the play and allowing the rest of the players to come back and defend. PAARL Boys free hit. What can they get out of it? It's a good clearance there by Fairmont, and there's a lot of space. Just couldn't collect the ball cleanly. They saw the ball. It's a 3v3. Some fantastic speed on the outside there. Pulling it back onto his forehand and hitting across, but well defended there by PAARL Boys. And they now launch the own attack. With the speedster on the right hand side there, and he's got around again. Is he going to carry it further along there and draw a foul? But he's won the free hits. He's got to move the ball 5 yards before it can go inside the circle. Just has not moved the ball 5, and the umpire has blown it up. PAARL Boys' defensive line very high up here on the field. Fairmont can exploit a bit of space behind them if they can just thread a few passes to the strikers running angles over there. I'm sure they'll be able to get an opportunity out of that. But PAARL Boys doing well in that high line and turning the ball over again. Fantastic skill going straight to the middle of the Fairmont team. It's well defended there by Cullen, and has won a free hit. Throwing it down the line, but he finished to take it. It's a great ball. Thomas Day has it. Fairmont have a lot of players over. Can they find the pass? But AJ again, fantastic intercept there. Fairmont winning a free hit. Lots of space open available here for Fairmont if they go quickly. Can they run straight into the D and get an outcome over here? It's a great pass by Kellen. Can Fairmont get on the end of this? PAARL Boys calmly defended the circle there and have cleared the ball out for a sideline hit. Fairmont taking it quickly yet again. A lot of space room to run into. Great defending on the back stick and has cleared the ball. PAARL Boys have great skill there.
Coach Ryan just can comment.
I'm joined by Liam here from PAARL Boys. Welcome, Liam.
How's it going? I'm the assistant coach of the u14A side, and we'll see how they do today.
Thanks for joining. As you see, a free hit for Fairmont inside the 16. Liam, tell me a bit about yourself. Do you play hockey here?
Yes, I'm at the moment also the first team side of PAARL Boys High. It's been a tough year, you know. Obviously with COVID, it was a very promising year for our team. So let's see what we can do later tonight.
Yeah, we're looking forward to what should be a fantastic game later tonight.
I definitely agree that. But yeah, this is a very strong under 14A side. Lots of ups and but little downs. Really persistent and carry on. Yaku goes down on the left side.
So what position do you play in the first side, and how long have you been involved with the first team?
So I play blocker or left link in the centre there, and sometimes maybe centre back, but it all depends on the position of other players. But I was selected for the first team grade 11, so that was last year, and we only played one game before COVID-19 hit, so it was a bit of a sad ending, as we had players like Scott Patterson and Edwin Steinbach and all those solid matric team, but yeah, so it was a very sad ending to what could have been an amazing year.
And this year you guys were involved in CPL teams where you came up against some tough opposition. How was that for the boys, and if you had a season, do you think that event had prepped you guys going into your first game?
Yeah, we learned a lot playing at the CPL.
You see Fairmont get the ball inside the D, the keeper comes out, but it's a fantastic finish there by Fairmont in behind the PAARL Boys defense. There was 3 players in there, picked out the player, and Fairmont have the opening goal of this game and take the lead 1-0 with just over 9 minutes to go.
This Astra looks nice and slippy after the lots of rain.
So hopefully it'll dry out and not be so slippery, and actually just be a nice quick game of hockey. I'm sure the first team boys are keen to move the ball around.
Yeah. But yeah, coming back to the CPL I think is a great implementation, should we say, for hockey for South Africa, because it really gets like the boys and school team to really play against top quality sides. And it was obviously just we saw it as a friendly and a learning curve before our season started, and we didn't know what to expect from our season, and based on COVID and stuff like that. So we were just, you know, and we felt like we did a good job, considering our PAARL Boys high side, taking on Cape Town schools and all these different quality schools.
I'm sure it's good
turnover.
to get some games under the belt, as we see Fairmont on the attack here, but great defending by AJ, great intercept. He's been handy little player the entire game, part of the PAARL Boys defense, then playing a
down the line,
backstick down the line there, fantastic player there. It's a good backstick across the goal.
Well defended out.
I've seen the game open up a little bit more end-to-end action here. Hopefully we can get a few more goals in here. I'm sure PAARL Boys will be looking to get on the scoreboard before the end of the first half. As you can hear Coach Jody in the background shouting, lots of instructions, very vocal on the side here, making sure his team understands exactly what they need to do.
Good carry by the young Fairmont boy.
Good vision there by Callum. Great ball into the D. Well defended again by AJ.
Some nice skill and some good defense there in the corner.
Minor coming up next, we have the under 16B boys game. You can see in the background there in Fairmont's mini turf, the two teams warming up, preparing for the game. As a great delivery across the
ball.
goal. Fairmont still in possession, has a shot.
Oh, great goal.
It's another goal. Fantastic finish there. Nice little sliding pass past the keeper. Unfortunately, just could not get anything onto it. And Fairmont have the second goal of the game. Take the lead to 2-0.
Usually, PAARL Boys High's goalkeeper Luan doesn't get many past him. He's a great talent. Definitely one to look out for in the future.
just over 6 minutes to play in the first half here of the under 14A boys game between PAARL Boys and Fairmont High. Fairmont High hosting PAARL Boys. You see Thomas Day walking to the D, and umpire has said it's a bit of a stick check. PAARL Boys not too sure about that, but a penalty corner has been given as we see Logan Glasby come across to Coach Jody to get some information as to which short corner they'll be doing. Coach Jody just setting up the Fairmont counter defense here as they have committed 6 players to the penalty corner. So obviously PAARL Boys having 6 players out against the 3 of the Fairmont players, so making sure they're in a good structure so if anything should happen they can deal with the attack as best as possible.
Where do you think he's going to put this one?
I have a feeling that we're probably going to first cast on Thomas Day is going to have a bit of a flick or a hit. I'm wrong, it's gone to Logan. It's a slip left.
Another short corner.
And it's another short corner.
Good zigzag.
Yeah. Boys proving me wrong. Obviously did not know where it was going. I saw a guessing game from up here anyway, so.
Yeah. Just have to watch and absorb.
As Fairmont get a reward here. Just over 4 minutes to play. It's been dragged a bit and it's gone straight to the PAARL Boys player on the line. We have a 6v3 situation if they can move the ball, but good work back by the Fairmont players, working hard back through the middle to make sure they have enough numbers back. And PAARL Boys have a free hit and it's slowed down a bit, so Fairmont back into structure. It's a good little touch there by PAARL Boys. He's got in behind the Fairmont players. Can we get one goal back here?
Oh,
he's just put it wide, beaten the keeper. Unlucky, and it stays 2-0 to Fairmont. It seems it's come off the goalkeeper or one of the Fairmont players as it is a long corner. Fantastic attack there by PAARL Boys. Unfortunate not to get onto the scoreboard. Some good hands here. On the back stick, it's a fantastic shot, just off target. Very good connection there. Would not want to be in the way of that ball coming across. And it is a 16 to Fairmont as the ball goes over the fence and they throw a new ball on. Just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. Fairmont 2, PAARL Boys 0. PAARL Boys just missing that final opportunity there to get onto the scoreboard, but I'm sure that they'll get another one and hopefully they'll be able to put that one away. I see Fairmont getting just behind the PAARL Boys. AJ cleaning up yet again. He's had a fantastic start to the game and has definitely been one of the most influential players on this field. Shout out to our ES Media team out here on this very cold Wednesday. Bring you guys the live feed here as we see a Fairmont foot inside the circle and PAARL Boys winning a penalty corner.
Let's see if Boyda can capitalize on this short corner here.
So Liam, tell me, you guys still being able to play your inter-schools against him?
Unfortunately, the tricks not, but Mr. McLaughlin has decided to take an under-17, or I think the coaches among the inter-school committee and stuff like that, they said it's going to be under-17 inter-schools because it's going to be on the 4th of September, hopefully. Ooh. Cameraman, watch out.
As we see the back six sail over the video tower, they're almost hitting the director of hockey, Robert Goslet, up in the tower there. But luckily he got out the way there.
So unfortunately for the Matrix, this is our last game against Fairmont, so we're hopefully going to make it a big one and go out with a big bang, should we say.
Yeah, I was sitting here when you guys walked past when you arrived and seeing everybody in good spirit, high energy. So really looking forward to the game as we see Fairmont on the attack. Got some numbers behind, open plays in the D, but great defending there. And well worked out there by PAARL Boys. As we enter the final 30 seconds of the first half, Fairmont just outside PAARL Boys. PAARL Boys is D over here. Logan plays the direct ball. It's gone in the back stick of the Fairmont player. And as a free hit out, PAARL Boys have just over 15 seconds to launch an attack. And they are in behind Fairmont. But great step there by Jean, cancelling out. Otherwise, the speedster from PAARL would definitely have been in and had an attempt at goal. With just 5 seconds to play, I think we have had our final opportunity for the game. And we are at half time here. Fairmont under 14A boys 2, PAARL Boys under 14A boys 0. Yeah, I was telling Lisa earlier in the previous game that I was part of PAARL Boys for 1 year as the first team coach back in 2018, I think. And I do remember the Gym week being a fantastic week to be a part of. Absolutely epic things happening all around the school. Lots of old boys functions, inter-school halls and assemblies and brags and things like that. It was
the whole town painted blue or
green.
Painted.
It was fantastic to be a part of it. Something that I had never been a part of, and for the first time, it was really, really amazing to be a part of it. Luckily that year we got the win. We beat Gym 3-2. Anderson scoring some two fantastic flicks there. I'll never forget that. It was a fantastic game to be a part of, and it was a good sign-off for them.
Yeah, I still remember you and your brother were still there as well. I remember Mr. West was still my coach at under 14. But yeah, that week was unbelievable. But yeah, it's definitely something to be part of, and it's not just should we say like it just builds the community up as well. You know, it's just something everyone looks forward to. And unfortunately, obviously, we couldn't have had that during COVID. So it's like the bodies at the boys' eye and the Gym, they're just like not the same anymore. I can imagine. So it's different.
Yeah, hopefully we can return back next year. Hopefully,
yes, I definitely
we can get through this tough pandemic that the whole world is actually facing at the moment.
Yeah.
What's your take on the first half there? Are you happy with the PAARL Boys' performance, or what do you think Murray is busy telling them at the moment?
I would think that he must push his forwards a bit higher to create some space, as also the links they're bundling up in the centre, and they should, I think, Tian, the centre link, a very solid player, can play by himself, and I think they must give him some room. And so I think the links must, move out so that they can give Tian space to distribute the ball and pull the Fairmont players up and down. So yeah, that's from my side.
Yeah, I'm sure both coaches are doing a few adjustments. I think Coach Jody probably the happier one of the two going into the break with the 2-0 lead. But hockey is a quick game. You can score goals in a matter of seconds. So I'm sure Murray is going to ask the boys to go out there nice and early and to try create an opportunity within the first 5 minutes to get back in the game, because once they score the first goal, they have the bit of an adrenaline rush and they'll be on the up, and hopefully we'll pull back a second to make it 2-2. I'm sure in a perfect world that's exactly what he would love to happen, and I'm sure Coach Jody is going to do everything to protect. As a lot of people know, the 2-0 trap is a real thing in hockey. So what that means is when people are 2-0 up, the other team usually comes back and scores 2, if not 3 goals to take the lead. So I'm sure Fairmont want to start off defensively strong and then from there take it.
No, I think Fairmont has played some brilliant hockey. They've got some very skillful players, especially I think basically 2 in every single line, in the back, centre and at the forwards. They've got some solid players. So I think it's going to be definitely an interesting second half, and it's going to be a good second half of hockey.
Yeah, Fairmont had a very, very tough game last out on Friday night against Sachs. Sachs played some great hockey, and eventually beat the Fairmont side, but I'm sure some good lessons learned by the boys, and they've definitely taken into this game.
It's always nice for like schools like Boys Eye, Fairmont, and Cure Durbanville, to play such like solid teams such as Paul Roos, Sachs, the Weinberg. They're very fast hockey. Basics are perfect. So lots of lessons learned, as you said, and it's always nice to experience some proper hockey, should we say?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the highlights that we can remember from the Sachs is the basics throughout all the teams that we played against was superb. So great program running out there. As we look to start the second half, Fairmont on the ball, playing right to left, wearing green. PAARL Boys wearing the two shades of blue, playing from left to right. I'm sure we're in for another great half of 25 minutes here between the two under-14 boys teams.
Already a good start for Fairmont side.
It's amazing to have PAARL Boys out here with us today. Thanks to PAARL Boys for coming, and I'm sure you all are enjoying the hockey back home as we see PAARL Boys. It's a great intercept tackle there by Fairmont, otherwise PAARL Boys were definitely in with a lot of space. Referee umpire's given the free hit to Fairmont as we have Logan Glasby on the ball throwing it overhead. It's gone straight to the PAARL Boys player. He's got it back. Some good pressure here by PAARL Boys to win the ball back. Some great pressing by their right forward. Unfortunately not getting the ball.
Yeah, that James has got lots of talent. He's quick and
James has a lot of speed. I saw him on the outside a few times. He put in quite a lot of players.
And he's got lots of grit and he's
very exciting player.
Yeah,
very exciting player. Excited to see where he goes in the future.
Yeah.
If you see a long ball by PAARL Boys, great lead by the centre forward, but just not be able to get on the end of that.
So James comes to trials, he tells us, no, so I'm a back. We say to him, you look like a forward though. So then he plays forward, and I think he just can't have enough of playing forward.
Yeah, there's no substitute for speed, and when you get behind the defense, there's no one catching him on this field. So yeah, great decision to playing up front there. I'm sure he wreaks havoc amongst defenders, and it must not be fun to mark him. Fantastic ball from the left back there of PAARL Boys all the way to the centre forward. PAARL Boys playing a bit of an expansive game out here in the second half, looking to get the ball up into Fairmont's defensive quarter as much as possible and as quick as possible, putting them under pressure. Nice compact press by PAARL Boys here, not allowing any spaces for Fairmont. Fairmont using the width, as we see James putting on more pressure, hassling the defenders of Fairmont, but unfortunately it was just a stick check and Fairmont have won the free hit.
Good tackle. Good pass here by Liam, not going through the players and just playing to the centre back, and the umpire's given a free hit out, but and he's sticking with his decision, and it's a Fairmont ball as we see an overhead being thrown into the midfield. Just a reminder on the overhead rule for the receiver is the person who is under the ball receives it first, but if a defender is marking the attacker, it is always defender's ball, as it is creating danger by the player that's thrown. King Collop raising his eyebrows at me, not sure if I've got that correct, but can't teach an old dog new tricks, eh? Thanks again to the Super Sports Schools app and ES Media for bringing these live pictures to you today, and a huge shout out to Bulk Tech Sports for all that they do for Fairmont Hockey. Thanks for being a part, and thanks to everybody involved today for allowing these live pictures back for the parents and families and friends, for people around the country to view PAARL Boys versus Fairmont all day today. Reminder, up next we have the under 16B boys at 5 o'clock, followed by the under 16A boys at 6 o'clock, and then finally the last game for the matrics of the PAARL Boys. The first team will be heading up at 7 o'clock. You see Fairmont, it's a great save by the goalkeeper, Luan, I think's his name. Yeah.
You can see the quality of the goalkeeper there, great positioning and stance there, allowing him to make that save and setting his team up on a fantastic counter-attack here. They're cleaned up by Jean at the back. Nice open-end game that we have here in the second half.
I think PAARL Boys are just too many double turnovers. They get the ball and then immediately they give it back. So I think that's what's costing them at the moment.
Yeah, we see teams that are chasing the game look to be a little bit more direct as they panic, but we still have lots of time left in this fixture. 20 minutes left in this game, and it only takes a matter of seconds to score a goal. So as we see PAARL Boys almost getting one back there, but it's hit a foot and it's Fairmont's ball. But yeah, I think we would like to see PAARL Boys just look after the ball just a little bit more when they've been in possession, especially in the first half. They looked really dangerous and had some really good attacks, and I'm sure they would like to get back into the game as they win a free hit inside Fairmont's half. Fairmont gifted the ball there and they have a counter-attack, and it's a 2v1. I'm sure Fairmont would love to get an outcome here as they pull the ball back. Some good defending by PAARL Boys, nullifying that attack, and a great clearance by Luan in the goals. And we have Callum on the ball with lots of space to run into. Very skillful, handy player in space, but
met by Tiang.
And he has just passed it onto the foot of the PAARL Boys defender and has won a short corner for Fairmont. Good midfield battle there will be between Tian and Callum. I'm sure we will see much more of that
throughout the years as well.
And throughout the years, and especially in the next 19 minutes of this game. Logan Glasby ran into the boys to give some information passed on by Coach Jody. We saw a slip left in the first half. Let's see, wonder if Coach Jody has opted for the drag flick or maybe a straight shot at goal from one of the players.
Less people now in the short corner.
It must be a late entry for the second castle, so I'm assuming we would be going to the first castle this time to Thomas Day, who's got the ball. It looks like it could be a slip right and a shot by Logan Glasby, and it's just gone wide. PAARL Boys have an opportunity to counter if they move the ball well. Fantastic ball out wide and great receive, and PAARL Boys have a few numbers up if they can connect some passes. And James on the ball into the D, some fantastic skill, gets the shot off.
Oh, great save.
Good save by Matthew, and the goals there by Fairmont. Great attack there by PAARL Boys. As we mentioned, Fairmont
some excitement for Boys.
Commit some 7 players forward, and there's always some space behind for a counter attack from a short corner. Well worked by PAARL Boys. Unlucky not to get on the scoreboard there, but very good attack, good stick work there by James. Great counter attack, nice and fast, and I'm sure we'll see a few more of those in the next 17 minutes. So Liam, you in Matric, assisting the under-14A boys this year, playing in the first side. What are your plans for 2022?
So one of the reasons I became a coach for the under-14 side was because next year I'm taking a gap year and I'm going to go explore a bit, should we say. I'm going to go to the UK and be a stooge, as they call it, and just coach and be a part-time teacher and just help out in the hostel and stuff like that. So that's my 1 year plan, and I think that's the furthest I can go at the moment. Not too sure. Good
luck with your future. That sounds awesome. I'm sure you'll enjoy your time in the UK as we see Fairmont enter, but let's hit the foot, and it's a PAARL Boys free hit. Earlier we saw AJ in the middle of the field with some awesome stick work.
Still doing brilliantly there at the back.
Yeah, it's been a really influential player in this game, and I think he's really kept PAARL Boys in this game, and I'm sure that they want to get him on the ball a little bit more, even though he's a little bit further back in the defense. I'm sure you'll find the midfielders in good areas when outletting.
So we as PAARL Boys have been struggling with our under 14 A side, as we usually play with 16, but we've only playing with 11 now. One of our star players, AJ, is also injured. He's been having problems with his hamstring and his foot, and so it's a bit of a tough situation, should we say. And then some of our other players, they couldn't make it today. So I bet some of these boys' fitness is pushing them today.
You're seeing if Lisa's work is being done here properly.
Yes,
I'm sure it is. She does a really good job with all the teams there. But yeah, it's definitely the new age of hockey. It's a very quick game, so having no subs or not getting that minute or two rest on the side really does affect the game. So it should be tough to be out there for the full 50 minutes, and I'm sure the boys are going to start getting tired fairly soon, but doing a fantastic job out there, and I'm sure they're hoping to get back into this game. They're still adopting that full press and getting another turnover high up on the field.
Great tackle. Speaking about a fast game, when we played Grey Bloemfontein earlier on in the year, we turned off. We were leading 1-0 ahead, and immediately as we turned off, they scored a goal in the last minute of the game. So anything can happen. It's
always heartbreaking to concede so deep inside the game, but it is for the neutral. It's always awesome to see late goals happen. And as we see Fairmont with a few players behind the ball here, behind the defense of PAARL, can they get another opportunity?
Oh, great tackle!
Great tackle there, putting the ball out and giving a long corner and allowing a few more players back into the structure and set up defensively. If you've just joined us, we the under 14A boys, PAARL Boys against Fairmont High. Fairmont currently in green, leading 2-0. The PAARL Boys have had a number of opportunities, unfortunately just not clinical enough in the D, but I'm sure they'll have a few more as they turn the ball over. And it's a great ball down the middle there, but unfortunately just into space. And I'm sure they're going to step up and adopt a full press here and look to turn over the ball high. High risk, high reward. John on the ball for Fairmont, and it is turned over. What can PAARL Boys do from this counter-attack? Unfortunately, just playing just slightly ahead of the left striker there, and he couldn't control it, and the shot has gone wide of the goal box. But it's a great counter-attack and press there by PAARL Boys. They've done that exceptionally well today.
Great movement down the line there.
Cullen on the ball.
Oh, skill.
Takes it quickly. PAARL Boys player is not 5, and that is a deliberate breakdown, and the umpire has given a short corner. Fairmont with another set piece, just under 12 and a half minutes to play, leading 2-0. I'm sure Coach Jody would love to put a third one away and really seal the game. Let's see if PAARL Boys can keep this one out and create another counter-attack as we saw in the previous short corner. Thomas Day with the drag flick, and well kept up by the keeper and cleared twice.
Chance. Oh, well defended out.
Well defended there by PAARL Boys, not allowing Fairmont to get another goal and keeping themselves in this game. Still over 11 minutes to play. They're definitely not out. It's a good receive by Kellen inside the D. Your left foot pass to Thomas Day. Passed it back to him. Some good movement there by Fairmont, and even better defending there by PAARL Boys. Good aerial skills there by Thomas. Finding the space and hitting it across.
All out by AJ.
AJ just clearing up the loose ball there. Kellen running into a bit of traffic. Doing well to win the free hit. You can take it quick as a few players are not 5, but they have retracted to the 5 yards. Because Jody asking to play the ball short and then to get it in, as there's a bit of space, but PAARL Boys set up a little bit better now, not allowing that to happen. As it is hit in and again cleaned up by AJ in the DA, as Thomas there looks to have a backstick, but good pressure there, gets through somehow, and it hits the backstick, and it's a great save by the goalkeeper onto the foot of the Fairmont player, and he has won PAARL Boys a free hit. And then, as you said, not much gets past the one, and we can see the fantastic goalkeeping that he is at the moment. AJ having a fantastic game at the back. And we got James in a bit of space, which is very dangerous, as he's really quick but well handled there by Logan, and winning the free hit, taking it quickly. I think we're going to see quite an open game here in the last 10 minutes. As PAARL Boys will push to try get one back in.
Yeah, there was some brilliant play, putting his body in front of James, as he knows James is quick, and just getting to the ball before James. There's some
and then
work.
Winning the free hit there, so well done there. And you see James in behind. He's gonna keep it in play. He's got a lot of time inside the D. What's he gonna do? He plays it across, and it's just missed by PAARL Boys on the far post. They could easily have scored there. It's a great opportunity to get back in the game and to 2-1, but unfortunately just not being able to finish it.
It's always so hard to see that when you make such good play and then give it across the line and not a defender or anyone touches it. Oh, great steal.
PAARL Boys with the high press getting another attack in. Can they get a shot off here or win a short corner? They have won a short corner, so they have a set piece with 8 minutes to play. I'm sure Murray is hoping that they can pull one up here and then play the last 8 minutes really hard and try get the equalizer. You see a straight shot, and well saved by Matthew, an upright reverse stick, just going wide. And it is a long corner to PAARL Boys. No, it's a 16. PAARL still setting up at their high press, looking to turn the ball over high and create those quick counter-attacks, while Fairmont are spread out in their board-up structure. But they're good outlet there by Fairmont, and they have some players in behind PAARL Boys here. Monty on the ball. Can he connect or score the goal? Unfortunately, just going over the ball with his first shot there, and great keeping by Luan, putting the strikers under pressure, and it's a 16 for PAARL Boys. As Fairmont turn the ball over high, you see Callum on the ball. So great pass. Fairmont have another opportunity, but a great
nice
save. Ball still in play. It's good backstick clearance.
But I'm waiting there for the ball.
Bit of a scrappy piece of play there, but PAARL Boys have headed out. And I'm sure they'll set up their defensive structure to make it a little bit more tougher for Fairmont to get another opportunity. Just over 6 minutes to play. Fairmont 2, PAARL Boys 0. Up next, you'll see on our monitor for the backline a 16B boys warming up. They'll be on here just after 5 o'clock.
Tian showing some skills there. Oh,
good work there by Tian, creating a bit of space for himself and setting up some 2v1s on the left-hand side of the field. It's a good cross-field ball there. Ooh. Umpire says that's back stick, and Fairmont have a free hit. Umpire JD Hendricks not happy with that tackle. Bit of a loud blow on the whistle, warning players that they can't do that again. Every time there's a free hit, a little bit of time is eaten up, and we've gone just under 5 minutes, so I'm sure PAARL Boys would not want to have any of the time eaten up and get in possession of the ball. Fairmont not committing too many players forward to this attack, making sure that their defensive unit is set up in case of any counter attack. Thomas down the ball, taking on 1v1, but it's well pocketed there by the PAARL Boys, and now they have a bit of space to counter into with a lot of speed.
Oh,
but
great stop.
Logan Gaisby intercepting, but James getting it back, and can he get on the outside and really get to his top speed? Unfortunately has just been blown up by the umpire, and it is Fairmont's ball. Really exciting young player, James from PAARL Boys. A lot of speed, does not give up at all, always in the defender's face. Must be a nightmare to come up against. It's great to have the Fairmont principal and vice principal in action here today. Mr. Erasmus and Mr. van Rensburg here supporting the boys and watching the Fairmont hockey players play. It's great to have you guys here and welcome. As you see Thomas Day just outside the D, slowing the game down a bit, hitting it across. It's hit the shin pad of the PAARL Boys player, and umpire Rowan has said that it's not dangerous. It's well within the rules of the game, and he's given a short corner to Fairmont. With just under 3 minutes to play, time is running out. Let's hope PAARL Boys can keep this out and hopefully get back into the game.
Fairmont boys knowing they can take their time.
Just winding down the clock, but as we hear the umpire just speeding them up a little bit. You're allowed 40 seconds from winning the short corner until you have to play it before it becomes a turnover ball. So the Fairmont boys using all 40 seconds up here, knowing that it'll be tough for PAARL Boys to get back into the game. It's gone slip right. Logan Lays with a little flick. Good save on the rebound. Thomas Day lifts it over the keeper who was on the floor, and he has got Fairmont's third goal. Fairmont 3, PAARL Boys 0. Just under 2 minutes to play, and I think the game is a bit done and dusted at this moment. I don't see PAARL Boys scoring 3 goals in the last final minute, but I have been proved wrong before, so let's see if PAARL Boys can get onto the scoreboard as quick as they can here. Tian with some fantastic hands again in the midfield there. He's been a real great player throughout the game here. As we see the ball across, and James on it. It's a great save, but great double save by Matthew there. And James with 2 opportunities there, and unfortunately the Fairmont goalkeeper has stopped him from getting on the score sheet. And it's just over a minute 20 to play. Fairmont lead 3-0.
Keeper making himself nice and big in front of James, making 2 brilliant blocks. Well needed as well. James was definitely looking hungry for a goal there.
100%, yes. We see PAARL Boys with the free hit inside the final minute of the game. Can they get a consolation goal? Fairmont free hit out. I'm sure they'll be in no rush to take this, as we have the under 16B PAARL boys standing in front of us, eager to get onto the turf and play against Fairmont here. Another great game coming up next live. Be sure to be here, go nowhere. As we see what could be the final play of the game, PAARL boys with a free hit outside the Fairmont D.
Not much PAARL boys I can do now, but get a short tee. That's what would be on the mind. Oh,
Almost a deflection goal. Time 3 seconds on the clock. Fairmont ball. And that is the ball game. Thanks for joining us. Just a reminder that we have the under 16B PAARL boys vs Fairmont coming up next here live on the Super Sports Schools app and through ES Media. Liam, thanks for joining us and for commentating on this game. It's been an absolute pleasure for having you, and we wish you the best of luck with your gap year next year and with your game later on tonight.
yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and thanks Fairmont for hosting us. It's been let's hope we can watch more great hockey today.
Yeah, and for everybody